Hey, welcome guys. It's season 20 of North American Online League. We just had round 1, the week of round 1 finish. So let's get started at one of our 3 game reviews. Alright, the first game we have 3 dance. Very nice. Baduk guys, look how many teachers are giving reviews here. 7-8 teachers. This is great. Join the North American Online League, get your games reviewed, improve, and everything. Alright, here's our first game. Let's take a look. Alright. So, one of the many things, one of the most interesting things that I find about Go is the existence of defender's advantage and how people use and disuse, play with and play against the defender's advantage in our games. And to sum it up, defender's advantage is when you commit a lot of resources to accomplishing something, the fact that you do accomplish your initial task is no success, and therefore whoever is on the defensive end, because the defender has already spent resources doing other important things on the board, usually the needs, the requirements are very small compared to the attacker. So let's see. Here white goes in and pincers against the 1 black stone here. This is commonly known as a commitment to attack kind of move. This white move is itself not surrounding much territory, and white is looking to really attack the 1 black stone here. It's very, the answer is very straightforward. Attach at c4. Perfect. And we are going to see black trying to settle into the corner. White decides to play this outside block, and we are going to have a inside corner versus the outside exchange. It's telling the average Joseki here has white playing this Atari now. But at this moment, if white Ataris here, the c9 1-space extension stone seems a little bit redundant. At the same time, white does not feel like white doesn't want to just leave this here. There's a lot of weaknesses like this. 5 is necessary, and then the bottom is not that strong either. So let's take a look. I would recommend now to switch up from the usual move and play this Atari. That would be pretty reasonably efficient. Black runs out, we could always get a few extra Ataris like this. And now that white got so many beneficial Ataris and presses, white may not even want to capture the 1 stone anymore, and instead let black spend a move and capture this 1 stone. This is a very interesting idea, and therefore white channels some Sente moves which really negates the need for white to capture the 1 black stone and to save the 1 white stone. That would be a very interesting way to play. In effect here, white gains the very important defender's advantage. Oh god. Okay, we got the game back. Everything is okay. Okay. So let's see what white did in the game. White played a knight's move in the game. Yeah, that's very reasonable. Totally understand. I would. This is not as clean and as tight as the other suggestions, but this does develop very fast. So it's not going to be a bad move at all. Okay, black invades on the lower side. Approach from this side. Interesting. At this moment, I would recommend white to extend in the corner, complete the Joseki here. Another way to complete the Joseki is hane in the corner first and then double hane or cut. These are interesting ways to complete the Joseki. The game move, the 2-space extension, is not that urgent, mostly because white just played that knight's move, which really took care of white's shape there. It seems to me like the 2-space extension from this other side is a little more urgent than this one. Because the lower right corner is a bit weaker. Okay, let's see. This jump out is very, very nice, and black does not go for the, usually we learned from early on that whenever there's a 2-space extension, we automatically, like, it's one of our top choices. Here, black does not just go for the 2-space extension. This is very good. And it's because white Hane and then this tiger mouse move is basically sente against the corner, and so the extension for black doesn't actually gain black much. This knight's move is another good one in the modern way of playing. Another thing we would recommend people to do is to try to force your opponent's already fairly strong shape into extra strengths. Like, for example, if we can get 1-2 as an exchange, that's a pretty good exchange. If white blocks, consider this headbutting move. Locally, it's a bad, inefficient shape for black, but if you look at the overall shapes, white is also very over-concentrated, so that's also a very interesting way to play. So in the game, black jumps and white extends. This is very, very high quality, very, very normal. I do not find any flaws. I have some suggestions, but none of these are, like this is clearly better, that kind of thing. In the game, white counter attacks against black's peep. This is very highly recommended. The next move is key, extend down at n4. This way, black has not made any territory yet, and as long as white can defend all of the white stones, black will have a hard time making any progress here. Let's see how the game went. Wow, the game, this Atari is the strongest possible move, which I always applaud. Black has to connect and then extend at n4. This makes the 3 black stones heavier, although it makes black stones a little bit stronger. Totally fine. This is very, very interesting how white has went about this moment. This jump out seems to be the normal course, but after white connects, it seems like black has 2 dangerous groups. Let's see how black chose to play in the game. It feels like white has successfully sort of grabbed hold, and then black is in a bit of a tough situation. Attach is not likely to yield any significant benefits. Black Hane connects and then white connects. Okay, perfect. Attach and attach, very nice. I really like how black did not try to fight in the middle here. This would be, as long as white sort of strengthens the middle shape, one of the 2 black groups would be under a lot of threat. And so the best way to sort of play during these moments is exactly how black did. Try to take care of your groups separately and have them play as far away as possible. Very nice, very nicely done here. Let's see how white played. It's very, very tempting to go and try surround 4 black stones here. In fact, this is what I would recommend at this moment, at this exact moment. Do some reading. If connect also captures the black group, by all means connect. It seems like it would, so maybe a connect is the recommended move now. Great, white does connect, okay. Makes a peep. At this moment, white has a chance to attempt to do major damage to black. Now, losing 4 stones here for black is some damage, but it's not game-ending damage. A lot of damage can be found here. Extend here first, make this exchange. go for this kind of counter-attacking cutting shape. And as you know, if black is not able to connect the side stone, white can negate the need to play a connecting move here. And here we see the use of the extension move at c2. It gets rid of one of the black liberties, so black cannot play this cut move on the inside here. This would be how white sort of ignores the black threat and then continues and moves along to the next objective and the next objective. This is really unfazed by what black played, and that's very, very recommended. So we can imagine black fighting, connecting solidly on the right hand side. In that case, if white captures the offending peeping stone that black just played, that would be success too. Black blocks, white can also just push through, and this seems, again, black is not able to do any cuts or any fights here because of the e3 Atari move. This move you can Atari first and then connect in an Atari 2. I'd say this is a major opportunity. At least white should be looking for this kind of thing. So in the game, white plays the connect. It's very solid, but it is just responding, and this is not a great sign for white in this game. It tells me that white feels a little bit optimistic about the capturing 4 stones earlier, and this would just continue and continue to make white play less aggressive later on, and that's, you never want to be the lesser of the aggressive side. Black plays a nice move, and also cuts that we talked about before because of this one slower move at g3 is gone. Now if white captures 1 stone, white has spent an extra move just capturing 1 black stone. Totally not worth it, and the g3 stone in this variation is totally wasted. So white is quickly running out of very good attacking moves against black here. So this cut would be if white wants to continue to do this. However, judging from how white just started responding to black, I expect white to play another very defensive move in the middle here, continuing to capture the 4 stones. White played an extension. It's better than, it's more aggressive than just a move here, which I do applaud. But here, probably cut here is what I would recommend. As long as black still cannot escape, white would be absolutely okay. And if black can escape with that jump, for example, jump here and then play this move, then a move that's a lot tighter, like the jumps that we saw before, would be recommended. The right hand side is just not that important at the moment. If the middle is all settled, black will have this very nice push in here, and white will not be able to surround any territory on this side here. Okay, so in the game we jump to the next iteration of the game. Black connects in order to sort of look for this for some profit. Very nice. This is something even I overlooked before as well. And here we see why white's cut earlier and capturing the f7 stone would be so recommended. Here a very strong move is for white to hane and then block on the bottom here. Note black runs out of liberties here and is not able to play here. Black could, what if black cuts like this? White has all sorts of back doors on the bottom side. So white is absolutely okay, gonna be okay here. So that's the strongest response. White in the game just extends, and this would make a huge difference from the actual game. Black is now gonna push, and then so instead of white capturing some black stones, black captures 2 of the white stones, so block is not possible. big turnaround, and you know, given this situation, white probably prefers to just turn on the outside and get one more sente move here. Let the left-hand side perish like this, and then this way white would continue to have overall control of the battle space. But of course, the most recommended is like this: make a blob and then cut. Look to fight as strong as possible here. So very interesting. I'm sure this little bit of an overlooked threat is exactly what why it's so dangerous to play moves like g3 that are just like simple connects, especially when you're ahead, because when you play a less efficient move and the opponent still finds damage to you, it's extra damaging, and the game is showing exactly this. Black is capturing 2 stones. At this moment, the bottom white is able to capture and find some damage on the bottom, which is great, but at this exact moment, if black takes time to just start attacking on the left, and then as long as black strengthens the middle a little bit, black can all of a sudden play these very strong fighting moves on the bottom and split white apart and everything. In the game, black just makes thickness, which is okay. Just remember how, and then black comes to attack. Remember that the recommendation is to attack first. That way you have more options to play the J6 safety move or connect at L4, connect at M3. Gives yourself more options that way if you start the attack earlier, and that way you can pick and choose what is best for you. Like this, black really commits to attacking with this thickness, but it's relatively easy now for white to handle. White just wants to play something like this and then live on the side. And this way black's thickness that was just built up would not be that useful. White jumps, okay, black peeps and captures. Okay, this capture is for sure a little bit too slow. For one thing, at least play the capture this way. Diagonal move here, take away white's eye space. If white runs because of this Atari and this cut on the left-hand side, white loses more than he saves. This is clearly no good. So in order for white to continue to threaten moving the 2 stones out, white has to block, and this way at least black gets a sente exchange. And the next, black doesn't have to capture the 2 white stones. Black can definitely take the moment to play the bigger moves on the rest of the board. The 2 stones right now feels very, very dry, as in not that big. Okay, so in the game, white was able to play the attach on the left and basically make an alive shape, and the game lengthens back out. Black did major damage to white, and black took a lot of territory early on in the game, but white did capture 4 black stones and the 1 very large stone on the bottom. So the game is still very, very close, probably. 15, 30, 40, black has 50 points, white has 10, 20, 30, 40 points if the 4 stones here remains dead, and then white looks a little better. The top seems like it's more than 10 points, especially over here, if it looks like this. Okay, the tiger mouse move is probably what's needed here, and then a knight's move, a push, this move, and then making eye space with this shape. This is locally not 100% alive, but because black has this honey connecting sente and these outside cutting points, black is totally alive. So in the game, black double honeys, and if white cuts and then connects across, I think this round would go to white here. White plays even more aggressive in the game, Atari, and blocks. Let's see if black is able to find anything. This does not look like anything, and so this round goes to white for sure. very interesting. And black goes for the 2-space jump. This is not gonna connect the stones out. So talked about this move. This is not this is very uncertain, but this would be one way to move the group out. So in the game, white is able to cut. This cut would be a lot better. This way, white is only has one 4-stone group to worry about. This way, for example, black's block is going to continue to be sente, and white would be a little uncomfortable here. In fact, black may want to just play this way and then just play across like this. Anyways, still overall a very, very good position for white because the top died without much aji. Okay, and after white prepared a backdoor, white takes it and then connects home. Now this situation is very, very dire for black. In fact, for white, I would recommend another strengthening move here. Let the 2 white stones get captured and then just have the much stronger middle position. Okay, in the game, white connects the 2 stones back. Black Ataris. For sure, right now, white wants to just Atari on the outside, give up this 1 stone. It's not that important. Going to the end game now is much more important. White extends. This gives black a very nice sequence here. Namely, after black pushes here, this is a very, very super nice double Atari. So white captures here, and white gets himself blobbed up. This looks to be a moment of opportunity for black. This move threatens to connect the 4 stones again, and so white plays here to stop that from happening. Very, very interesting. White Ataris and captures here. Black can push. Atari. These are all sentes with just 4 liberties. White will have a very hard time to move out this way. For example, if white moves out, he would be reduced to 3 liberties, and then the rest of these 2 moves are sente Ataris. So white really got himself into a lot of trouble in the game. Black connects, good. Let's see. Black moves out on the top. Let's see if some kind of co-threat emerges. Black just connects. This is 4 liberties. Let's see if white can play a p18 in sente and then hold on in this local position. White just honeys. This is not likely to work. The key here is to play q16. Black plays it, and it looks like white is now dead on the upper side. The key here is for white to get a honey exchange and then make a 1-legged chicken shape here where black is not able to get the liberties on either side. But without this exchange, black will Atari from the back, and black would Atari from here. So white just simply totally dies here. This is disaster for white. White cuts, tries to capture 3 stones, but here this Atari, and just exchanging all of these sente moves would make sure that all black's problems are solved. Black plays it, and then even extends 2 stones like this. Judging from how the game went, right now white has, if black gives up the 2 stones, 10 points, 15, 25, 35, 45 points at most for white. And for black on the top, it's 10, 20, 30, more than 30, 40, 50, 60, 65 points. And that's not even counting some black potential in the center. So black wins easily in this game, but black goes for more and takes out these 2 stones. Very, very dangerous. But seems like it is quite strong. If white jumps, this happens, and this Atari is coming. So the strongest white move is to play something like this to maintain connection in the middle. this looks very, very good for black, and so I take back the it felt dangerous at first, but seeing where white was going to play and now black is going to save the middle stones, this makes a lot of sense for black, and that went very well. However, at this crucial moment in the game, it's very, very important for black to save the middle stones. Because there's an Atari here, the middle stones here for white is not that important. Even if white plays 2, black can tanuki again, and white still cannot cut. So there's absolutely no need to play this blocking move for black. On the flip side for white, let's see if white can leverage this into a kill on the top group. White does, and this probably overturns the game again back into white's favor, and I applaud black's decision to go for more, but he didn't follow up well enough, and after the middle died, let's see, white ended up winning by 12 points. What a pity. We can see here at this moment black is up by 60 points. Still 35, and was not able to play the perfect moves in this moment, and instead paid the ultimate price. Probably now the cut is needed, and when white connects, it's probably something interesting. Black is just simply the middle is still dead, but black is still ahead, even after giving up a slightly smaller version of the middle. And at the end here, only at this moment when black lost everything in the middle and lost Sente over here, which made black not even be able to save the capture on the one white stone, did the game get turned around. Very nice. So the game was actually quite over after the top happened, and okay, great. We see how some decisions early in the fighting can result in some very, very nasty consequences in this game. And one of the larger turnarounds that we have seen, a 60-point turnaround, white won by 12 at the end, so a 72-point turnaround. Very interesting, very exciting to see. Alright, we have our game 2 coming up next. Game 2, we have a 1Q versus a 2Q, so very, very evenly matched. Very tame opening here, very, very simple, unaggressive openings here. This Joseki plays this turn. It's a very, very nice, thick and safe move here. Here, if black cuts on either cut, white is supposed to capture it, and white does, and this is going to favor white. Black ladders the outside stone, but because of these cuts, white is able to cut black in Sente. This cut and this run out is unstoppable locally for white here. That's why black connected here. But this move is a little aggressive. But here, if white just plays this move, white would be able to do damage to black's corner, no problem. Okay, so for sure black has to play this move. Black does. Let's see if this works for him or not. This looks like it's kind of working for black, and so therefore another idea is for white to Atari on the outside. This way white has this way black has the least amount of liberties here, but there is this very nice cut to try to extend black's liberties. So probably black needs to play this cut early, and then this is a this looks like a ko, and and it's probably better for black overall here. So interesting how this went. Yeah, I just play this move in Sente, and then I'm sure white would be okay overall here. This way black has much fewer liberties. Black may Atari, but okay, that's alright. So in the game, black got the extend and this, so white dies in without co, big advantage to black. Okay, let's see the next phase of the fighting. White invades on the bottom, pretty good, but black played a very nice and effective attack. Black kept strengthening the relatively weaker stones that are participating in the attack, and this has gone very well. Looks like yeah, the very nice job by black, very safe, and white is the one with weaknesses, and white is the only one at risk on this board at the moment. Okay, at this moment, if you're looking to have a comeback as white here, so number one, you don't want to go for a very unlikely to work attack. Number two, it's often better if you get the opponent to attack you. That way, if you live, it's a success, and if you can counter capture something from the opponent, that's an even bigger success. So it's the recommendation is get yourself on the defensive end. You make use of defender's advantage instead of attacking and striking out at an unlikely target. Specifically, the best recommended way to come back is to try to take more territory and then allow the opponent to have to come over and reach out and then attack you. At this moment, this cut would be a good example, and then play here. If black wants to go for some kind of cut against the white shape, white would have immediately gained the defender's advantage and then look to counter cut black. Something like this would work wonders for a comeback. Black connects, very similar. First, white gains a lot, and then you know, the two stones are probably going to die on the bottom, but there's already a lot of thickness and compensation that white already got. What white does not want to do is fall further behind in territory like this, and you can see that in the, you know, after the left-hand side disaster, white played a lot of moves on the top, on the right-hand side, in the middle here, but none of those stones are surrounding any territory, and on the other hand, it was black who surrounded territory. So this just makes white fight at a greater and greater distance back. Alright, so the game continues. Black has surrounded the corner again, and white goes for another cut like this. Again, black gained territory before the fighting started. Don't play this one, totally unnecessary. White connects, just connect. White connects here, just connect here, and then connect this way. There are no problems on the inside. Black can save the 5 stones in the middle here. With that said, capturing a stone here is very big. It's 9 points in reverse Sente, so I guess that's almost as big as saving the middle black group. Okay, yeah, white needs to try to not spend any more moves in these 08 type of defensive moves. If white can at all just get away with not defending here, definitely do not spend another move here. So in the game, white slowed himself down a little too much, and there is just no more chance. Here, black needs to Atari before connecting, and black messed this up, but in fact, black should also maybe even play here threaten to cut the other white stone here. In the game, black messed this up, and then white is able to capture 2 stones. A good happy moment for white, but this is probably a little too late, too little and too late. This attach is going to capture a huge white stone on the left-hand side. That would be great. Yeah, this is not what we just said. We don't want to make like an unlikely to succeed attack. At this moment, the left stones are all dead on the side, so saving the 1 white stone here has no use at all. Black safely tenukis against the peep by white, and now this stone is just here, not performing any valuable function. Okay, good. Yeah, this one's unfortunately not gonna be a good game. Not a very good result for white. Yeah, this is interesting. Connect is for sure a little better, but even this white is able to find some RG in the black shape here. So black captures, and then I see, interesting. So this is a move. White will not be able to win the liberty race on the inside. White's only chance is to play this move, and then play the connect, and then hold the ko over here, and then go and Atari. So it's like a 2-step ko, and this is totally fine for black. After the throw in and then playing here, white can now connect this way. This is a bit of an opportunity for white. Unfortunately, white messes this one up as well, and there's just nothing on the bottom, on the top anymore. Black can connect. So disaster after disaster, white will not be able to come back here. Now remember, guys, okay, let's see what the result is in the end. Black by 47. Now remember, guys, when you guys are staring down the abyss, make sure to try to play as reasonably as possible. Get yourself on the defensive side, use defender's advantage to make yourself some outsized gains. Okay. Oh, this is nice. So in the game, this was actually quite a complicated shape. Both sides played fairly well at the moment. We had suggested here, it was always very, very complicated. What we suggested was not going to work, and very, very nice. So what white did was, so what black did was pretty okay. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's very, very interesting here. This move, just have a ko on the inside. Interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, this is a slightly favorable ko for black, as we had seen before. Very, very interesting how this shape goes. Wow, super complicated fighting. Okay. Yeah, for you guys, the block is the normal Joseki here. Turns out to be about the same as black's cut. Interesting. Okay. Just remember, guys. If you're desperate in the game, these kinds of moves, as you guys can see here. After white captured 2 stones in the middle here, this is a 17-point game. It's not, beyond reach by any means. You don't want to play moves like this one, where you're like clearly overextending and threatening something that you can't that you can't carry out, and you can't actually threaten the black stones around your stone. And so this kind of move will just make your desperate situation even worse. And instead, try to get more territory. Try to get the opponent, lure the opponent over to attack you, and somehow that's how you can, through the counterattacks, score outsized gains. All right, next we have two cues. Nathan, I believe it's the first time I've seen Nathan's name here, so welcome to North American Online League. And Struggle Bus is playing white. Very unconventional opening, totally fine. Yes, of course, once you play the 5-3 move, it's not a bad move, but the best move is to play the Shimari corner, but you don't play the 5-3 to play that. So this is totally reasonable, and I believe this shape itself is not bad. This is a totally okay shape. It's like less than a third of a point worse than optimal, so it's totally okay. Black extends on the bottom. Interesting. See if it elicited a response. White response, totally fine. Opening salvo, opening few moves, totally all good. Black pincers here, attach, very nice. At this moment, black plays here. Okay, interesting. Almost for sure the move would be here, but black plays here. That's also a pretty reasonable choice. I say this is much less direct, immediate pressure on white, but if white harness here, black connects, white is not able to find a comfortable life on the right hand side, and so as a result, this ends up relatively okay. Relatively okay. Let's see how white dealt with this. Hane connect, okay, and another diagonal move here. Okay, this seems very fair, very okay. At this moment, white may want to pay attention to, especially after a connect at Q2, to the strength of the black lower side, and then decides to play. The diagonal move is a very nice, proper move, smack in the middle, uncommitted to the left and right. At this moment, white probably wants to commit more to the right, as the bottom is very solid by black already. Another interesting thought is to play this kind of attachments, which allows black to further solidify, but the exchange also gives white some small margin of safety, and then use this little bit of safety to play somewhere else. Another move would be here, but if we play this move now, there's no way for black would not respond. So a very interesting idea is to play this peep first and then play the Hane, and we can see here the AI wants black to fight back against this one by playing here, which white loses a corner. This is a very, very interesting shape. Okay. In the end, black extends this one stone back. This gives white a very nice logical next move, the 3-3 invasion. Very nice. It was played. At this moment, definitely crawl out, an extra crawl. Great, very nice. This without any stones around, this extra 2 second line crawling move is fine, and it's designed so that white does not want to complete the Joseki, the pre-AI Joseki here. This is good for black. But if black turns, white will have to continue to play these moves. The extend will capture white without ko. So that's why the modern Joseki, white crawls out one more second line crawling move. Very nice, and this is totally proper. And when black extends, I'm sure black should not extend anymore, but extends. Now white tanukis This shoulder hit looks very nice. Let's see how white proceeded. A pressing move. Okay, pressing move is fine. Another pressing move, good. The only imperfection with this is after black hanes and then connects, white has added a few moves to this group, but the importance of this addition is not clear. White probably doesn't gain very much with these moves. Therefore, my recommendation is for white to take a bit more risk. Shoulder hit over here, allow black to cut through the white shapes. Sure, this is weaker, but this way white destroys the potential territory much easier. And with these kinds of attaches and with that p6 that was played earlier, maybe white can stay safe. This is much more aggressive. Okay. Black turns. Okay, this is a direct counter attack. So black has played many moves that are very well tempered, like this n3, 2 space extensions, crawling that extra move at m17. So black is no pushover and takes this opportunity to counterattack. Very nice. Definitely don't just block. This way black gets this double Atari and this Panuki. This is very good locally for black. Strongest move now, Hane over here. Don't even connect this one and push or something. This is because white is in a lot of danger on the bottom. Later white will still be in danger on the right. Instead, don't play anything here, just Hane on the outside. That was played, that is perfect. I would not change one thing. Here. Great. So black Ataris a 1 stone. This slap, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change one thing up to here. This slap Atari is crucial for white to make good shape here. After this Atari, the 1 stone at q10 becomes very light, and white can now decide to play something like an extension, give up the 1 stone, play another peep, and just live on the right hand side. We can see here how capturing 1 more stone is very redundant. If white wants to play the same move as a game, move out, this is perfectly fine too. Everything is a lot easier when you exchange this very nice exchange. So in the game, white extends. As long as white still gets that Atari later, then it's still fine. But already here, if black just cuts here, and suppose white decides to give up on the right hand side, then we can see that this Atari basically is all eaten up by black, and that's not good. And of course, white probably refrained from a move like this one or this one because of the Atari. And this one from the Atari threat. At this point, white has to connect, and if white Atari'd earlier, at this point there is no way that white would connect this stone. So that's a difference. Play the Ataris, the slap Ataris. They're called slap Ataris because you don't have to think about it. Just slap it. Slap the stone on the board, or slap your opponent in the face. Either way you look at it, they are sure do. Don't waste any. Just play and you just play it. And then think about what to do next afterwards. Okay. Extend black, capture the 1 stone. This is a bit redundant and gives white another chance to play that Atari. This Atari is the most important thing at the moment. Black probably would rather extend over here than capturing the 1 stone. Okay, in any case, this got white to make another move here. And overall, the fighting here seems to be going black's way at the moment. Another peep. At this moment, this attach is a very interesting response to the peep. Potentially, white can get sente here, and then make a make a one space extension. That feels nice. And if black goes for a surround, white plays on the bottom, just survive in place, and white is solving all of white's problems. When you are on the defensive end, remember that the key to having defender's advantage is the ability for you to give up some stones, or to give up thickness, fight for sente, so that you don't have to continue to defend something in that very, very stiff kind of way. So this is the stiff move in the game is stiff. Okay, black plays here to attack white. Recommend there's no real good attacks other than this extend, but if black was gonna extend, he wouldn't have played the previous couple of moves. So okay, either way, the slap Atari is coming now for sure, and it is great, good. And the next move is hard to decide. Attach, okay, good. This is another one of those relatively stiff moves, but in this case it's very, very fine. Despite all the number of moves black spent on the right hand side, this blob of a black group is not 2 eyes yet. So this is white has definitely gained the efficiency advantage in the last few exchanges. And not responding to this peep is nice. This is just one stone. White can take the moment to run. If black captures one stone, it's okay, and then we'll just continue along the rest of the way. White turns, that's okay too. Although if black hunnies, it runs the risk of damaging the right hand side. And black just played s20w, which is an attacking move on the right hand side group. So it has this directionally, it is not. It has the suspicion of like damaging yourself when white plays this, especially if white continues to play, hane and presses. Of course, white is strong enough to not do that, which is good. And white, right back, peep, perfect, and then this knight's move. Okay, this is pretty beautiful. 100% applaud. Okay. The only thing is probably white would want to play this one without that turn. If black plays here, white can extend. This feels a little better than this. And if you're doing this, you might as well jump. And then if you're jumping, you might as well play further out. And we're sort of back in our original suggestion anyways. Okay. Anyways, black plays here. This is a very calm move again. Probably okay. It's probably black has nothing really better to do. Interesting move here by white. Okay, this is a moment where white now really wants to move on to the rest of the board. A few ways to do this. One, just extend here. Two, surround the territory here. Three, make this kind of attach which fixes white's center group while sort of nastily holds on and grab hold of black. And black has a hard time tanukiing here. If black tanukis here, white would hane here and starts to make a very huge left-hand side right away. So that's one idea. Another idea is a very similar types of move attach on the bottom side, and this way if white is able to make this group alive, then again white is able to tanuki. Now these lose a lot of territory, so maybe white would have to maybe white wants to go back to the original attachment here. If white can make an eye on the middle here, white's group here would be relatively safe. Now with that said, another kind of attachment would be this way, and this leaves a bit more problems for black to think about. So some move like a jump out over here if this ends up as a sente move, this would be white also, taking care of the group. What white does not want to do is surround this super strong black shape on the right hand side. This group has no weaknesses, and at the very least, white wants to leave some, no man's land space over here, so that for black to do some cutting damage to white, black has to sort of reach out first and cross this little bit of space in order to start attacking white. And for example, if this happened, white plays 11-12, lives on the bottom side in sente, gives white the time that it takes for black to cross this middle no man's land space is the moves, the time that white will spend to take care of two sides separately. So at the very least, white wants to maintain this space. What you don't want is to do this, which is paper wrapping around rock, and Go is not rock paper scissors where paper beats rock. Rock usually beats paper, actually. So here black is able to get at white's cutting points without actually moving forward or reaching out. The cut is right next to the black shapes. So this is the weakness of surrounding this super strong black position without any extra buffering space. This buffering space is very, very important when we are defending our groups. Alright, good. So black was able to cut white. Let's see if black is able to turn these cuts into real damage. White is not able to capture the one stone, so white goes for this kind of a fancy net, which is usually recommended. At this moment, white has just landed in a very tough spot. Now remember, apply the thickness principle. Leave some no man's land middle ground, so your opponent plays on the inside and then cuts you. You don't want to be so close where the opponent has no choice but to cut and end up playing on the outside of the very, very thick black shape there. So that's what's going on, and white is rapidly losing control of the game. Has to play here. Black can jump. Okay, black gets another sente move here. Black can jump out. Black can jump out this way. This is a double Atari, and white is in a lot of trouble. After black jumps out, this push Atari and this Atari would destroy all of white's ice space, and white is surely going to die like this. White probably now has to play this move and then look to live over here, which is much harder than it seems. Well, okay, play here, but the damage is already being done. The outside is all blacks, is mostly black stones, and okay, good. At least white is able to survive, right? Okay, and black can also think about these kinds of things. So in the game, when black presses on the outside here, this is white's golden opportunity to take back control of the game and capture two stones. Good. Hopefully this makes white two ice. Black blocks on the bottom and tries to survive in sente and then move in the middle. Here for sure the move is to hane over here. If white wants to play in the middle, play this move in sente first, and then play this hane. This way white is totally alive. If the bottom group lives, it's all good. Okay, extend. If white is thinking about cutting Atari here, yeah, I'd say let's just get the sente and move on with the game. Okay, black goes for the kill on the lower right group. Okay. Uh-oh, another tough moment. Here, connecting here for sure makes two eyes. This move, this is a very nice tesuji by black. I am not sure if white can survive this. The cut would be the tesuji move. Yeah, and so I'm sure here white really regrets not having played the sente variations before. Okay, this is a can't miss tesuji move. Black played on the left. Okay. Surely the two stones in the middle are the two most important stones here. Okay, black goes into the 3-3. Black is gonna survive this way, but the important move is to play this one. There's 3 liberties. Let's see if white is able to hold here. White is able to hold the outside, so good for white, but at the same time this move will be sente. So if white just adjusts a little bit and plays the 2 space on the 3rd line or the 4 space on the 4th line, both of these would be okay. This is a little too much. And this did indeed happen in the game. Luckily for white, white is able to push out at d13 here and basically hold the local shape. So that's fine. This is a bit complicated, but seems like both sides dealt with this okay. Black ends up connecting. Very interesting fight over here. Let's see if white is able to survive. White plays these cuts, and the rest of the sente helps white survive. Great. A bit of a detail here. Play this move first, play this one, and then perhaps this is white alive in sente. That would be great. This is sente 2. Okay, so in the game, white plays here. I guess no big difference, but this one makes all the difference. Play these and then play here, alive in sente. This one is alive in gote. That makes all the difference. Oh my god, did we miss? Oh my god, we missed this Atari for white. Nice. So white sets this up earlier. Yeah, here. Okay. Very good job by white. Very good moment in the game for white. The fighting over here basically sealed white's victory. Good. Extend, and then when black hanes play here, this would be absolutely perfect. White was not able to find this. Instead, this actually worked for black. Oh no! And did we see another turnaround? Okay, interesting. Okay. Locally here, the so first probably a bit of a detail for white over here. This move, this connect a little bit better here at b12 for better endgame. Later, the life and death in this situation is not here. Is here. At this moment, black can. This is a 1000-year ko, and it's a 1000-year ko. Hard for either side to resolve. That's basically alive. Black also has this attach for a seki. Black probably prefers the 1000-year ko in most situations than this seki. The key here is this shape. Black being able to play b16, the 2-4 point, with 2 liberties on the outside, is what makes black totally alive. White is not gonna be able to capture black in that corner, so okay. This is a problem. The move is to extend and then peep. or play some hane. Either of these would all work. Black would win by 1 liberty. Black does not, and so let's see who has more territory in the end. I'm sure, yeah, this middle here, white had a great chance to just seal up the game surely in white's favor, but black broke out and white ended up dying there. Big turn around. Interesting. Great. So let's see if white had a moment here. This is a very even game at this moment. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Remember the sentes, and you know, white making these Ataris on the outside with that sente would have been perfect. Okay. A lot of these, what do you say, these fundamental issues with the life and death, with the tesuji cut over here. This cut also makes, you know, that hane from earlier much bigger as well. So it's a lot of feedback. A little more on work on these, and we would be pretty set. All right, a bit of a pity. White ended up not winning this one. Felt like white played certainly the more interesting game, but well, you win some and you lose some. Good job everyone who played, and see you guys in the next one. All right, this does it for our reviews. The M15 Tesuji is painful to miss. Yes. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and good luck to everyone in the round 2 for next week. See you guys.